Now, are there any upcoming events, any new products coming up that BikersGate.com members should know about?
Yes, definitely. We just introduced for 2010 two brand new models. They're in the same family. It's a bagger category. It's called the Cross Country and the Crossroads. And basically from the steering stem back, they're exactly the same motorcycle. The difference lies in the fairing up front. So the bagger category has riders who appreciate something that is very stripped down and very minimal, all the way to those who kind of want the cruise control and they want radio and they want a few of the features that show up on a bike like the Vision, but they want it in a little bit more of a traditional style. So the two cross bikes, as we call them in the family, they continue Mike Song's tradition of smooth flowing lines and an integrated design as you look at the bike from front to back. But again, it's a little more of a silhouette of a traditional bagger, and all the guys who, as we talked about before, didn't care for the Vision, all of a sudden they see this bike and they go, whoa, that's something really different. So we built those two motorcycles. We're excited about those. And then also this year, you know, not to be missed in the current economy is the expansion of the 8-ball line. We have introduced a Hammer 8-ball this year and also a Vision 8-ball. And again, two motorcycles, completely black, got rid of as much chrome as possible. Chrome is really expensive to build into production motorcycles, and we dropped the price down as low as possible. So we have 4 different motorcycles now in the 8-ball family, and it's a big variety. For somebody to come in who's maybe new to American motorcycles, new to the luxury cruising market, we've given a bike that's stripped, basic, but doesn't give up horsepower, doesn't give up the style, and certainly doesn't give up the performance that Victory is known for.
I also heard about an upcoming event. I think that you're going to give some kind of a incentive for military personnel.
That's right, yeah. Thanks for asking about that. We've got a $1,000 off deal that's going to active and retired military. There's more information on that on our website, which is victorymotorcycles.com. It's a way for us to thank the military for all that they do to give us the freedom to ride every day. That's just a big deal. And being part of the Polaris family, we have an off-road unit that has a lot of ties to the military. They're a military supplier. So for quite some time now, we've been involved with that. So it's fantastic for soldiers coming home to have an opportunity to throw their leg over a great American motorcycle, and we're proud to announce that program today.
Now, at some point in our interview, we'd like to take things a little bit on a more personal level. So what do you personally ride?
Well, you know, it's kind of embarrassing. I've got a garage with about 7 motorcycles in it right now, and it's almost been a one-way valve in my garage door. Everything just keeps flowing in and flowing in, you know. So in my personal collection, I do have a Victory that I ride, and that's probably the one that I ride the most, simply because it's easy to pull out of the garage and smooth and great. I also have a Ducati GT 1000. I've got a couple of dirt bikes. I've got a Aprilia Supermoto motorcycle. I've got a Yamaha TTR 225 that's mostly my girlfriend's bike. She gets to ride that quite a bit. And so I really enjoy anything that has 2 wheels and a motor, and it's awfully hard to turn away from one when I come across a great deal.
And how often do you ride?
You know, I get to ride almost every week. I'm lucky enough to be based in Texas, and the weather is great. Heat doesn't bother me that much, so I do get to ride a fair amount, and not as much as I'd like to sometimes. And again, sometimes the motorcycles have a little bit too much dust on them, or the batteries run a little bit flat. So that's a constant reminder that bikes are there to be ridden, not to be looked at.
Absolutely. Now, what do you like the most? What do you enjoy the most about the motorcycle industry?
You know, my favorite thing about the motorcycle industry is the equality and the camaraderie. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, Jay Leno on one end and you've got a huge garage full of fantastic motorcycles and a great collection, or as I was, you know, just 20 years ago, barely able to scratch by, and I had my one used motorcycle, my little 250. You know, Suzuki motorcycle. That's the only thing that I can afford, but it was the most proud possession I had. And there's a great equality in motorcycling that I really enjoy. The fact that You know, an old guy who maybe has a lot of experience on his old machine can absolutely embarrass the young guy with that super bike and, you know, who thinks it's the fastest thing in the world. And that boils down to skill and ability on the bike. And I think that regardless of how much money you make or what sort of motorcycle you're riding, the skill to ride that bike is just a great equalizer. And that's one of the things that I truly love, that when we all put our helmets on, we're all equal and we all get to go ride. That's absolutely my favorite thing.
With you. Now, to the opposite, what is the single thing that you dislike the most about the motorcycle industry?
Well, I think the toughest thing in the motorcycle industry boils down to education. You know, I've had a broad experience in the industry, from a floor salesman to doing what I do now. And I really think that education in riding needs to be brought to the forefront. And I wish that more dealers would be involved in their local MSF programs. I wish that more riders would see rider training as a mandatory thing every year, to renew that skill set, to go to a track day or to go to a closed course training facility. Or even if you're into dirt biking, there's plenty of dirt bike schools around the nation as well. And to really just sort of fine-tune that skill set. When we go to Daytona Beach every spring, it's great to see hordes of motorcycles coming down. They come down I-95 and they're filling up Florida and that sort of thing. But a lot of times that's the first time that they've thrown their legs over their motorcycle since, you know, maybe November, October, that sort of thing. So it's really important to educate yourself, to know your limitations, and that's one thing that I wish that would be a little bit more prevalent throughout the industry.
And to finish our interview, also I wanted to ask you, when you go for a day trip with your motorcycle, what is your favorite destination?
You know, I have to say, living in Central Texas, people think that Texas is just flat and nothing but dirt, and it is. You don't want to move here. I mean, you know, I want to keep the roads for myself. The truth is that Central Texas is a beautiful place to ride a motorcycle, whether you're looking for rolling farmland to ride a cruiser through, or if you want to hit something a little bit more twisty, there's the Texas Hill Country, and then there's also a lot of off-road riding camps and private riding areas that you can get into as well. So the fact that I can ride for 12 months out of the year, and granted a couple of those months I'm going to be sweating like crazy, but still have the opportunity to ride. I head out into the hill country, if, you know, on any given opportunity, for sure.
Okay. Well, Robert, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you participating in this interview. We recommend our members to check out your website. This was an interview of Robert Pandya, External Relations Specialist for Victory Motorcycle. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you out there. Ride safe.